If you are a Georgia resident, you could get up to $12,500 in a down payment assistance program. In this video, you're going to learn how to qualify, what credit scores are needed, and please stay to the end so you can get a free download of the documents required for this program so you can get prepared for your journey to home ownership. Hi, I'm Kevin Jefferson, the People's Lender. Georgia Dream is a down payment assistance program for Georgia residents. Now, in order to be considered a Georgia resident, you have to live in Georgia for at least 12 months to qualify for this program. Also, a minimum credit score of 640 to qualify for this program. Now, the Georgia Dream Down Payment Assistance Program qualifies for all 159 counties in the state of Georgia. There are also 80 counties in the state of Georgia that are considered hardest hit areas, and they will allow for you to qualify even if you've owned a home in the last 3 years. Now, Georgia Dream is geared towards first-time home buyers. However, in 80 counties, you are allowed to have owned a home in the last 3 years and qualify for this program because those are targeted market areas. So as I previously stated in the beginning of the video, Georgia Dream will allow for you to qualify for up to $12,500 in down payment assistance program. One portion of the Georgia Dream program is called the Standard Program. The Standard Program has the same qualifications, 640 credit score to qualify. Of course, you need to be a Georgia resident. However, for this particular program, they will give you up to $10,000 in down payment assistance to qualify for a home. The next program Georgia Dream has is called PEN, Police Officers, Educators, and Nurses. Essentially, this is for people who work in school districts, teachers, firefighters, nurses, doctors, clinical workers. There's a ton of people who come under the first responders, under the education piece, and police officers. So if you have questions pertaining to that, or you have a job in one of those sectors or associated with those sectors, drop it in a comment below and I can tell you yes or no whether you qualify for this $12,500. The third program that Georgia Dream has is called Choice. Now, the Choice program also offers $12,500, and the qualification is not actually your job position. The qualification is if you have a disability or someone in your home that's going to be living in a home with you have a disability, you qualify for up to $12,500 utilizing the Georgia Dream Down Payment Assistance Program. Now, Georgia Dream allows for you to purchase a single family home. It is for primary residence, meaning it cannot be an investment property. And Georgia Dream's Down Payment Assistance Program is good for the life of the loan. Meaning, if you live in a house for 30 years, that loan, that down payment assistance goes as a second with a 0 monthly payment, and it's put as a second lien. Well, why is it put as a second lien, Kevin? Because if you sell the home, let's say you get the subsidy of $12,500. If you sell the home before that 30-year period time is up, when you sell, the $12,500 from your proceeds is reimbursed to Georgia Dream. Also, if you refinance your home within that time frame, that also gets reimbursed to Georgia Dream. So they use that money to help fund people with down payment assistance, and they don't charge them a subsidy. But when the person no longer owns the home, pays off the home, or refinances that loan, then they are reimbursed those funds so they can continue to fund the program. This program allows you to purchase a home with a sales price up to $425,000. Anything above $425,000 in sales price does not qualify for the Georgia Dream Down Payment Assistance Program. So Georgia Dream has pretty high income limits. For a 1 to 2 person family household, you can have a household income of $120,439. For a family of 3+, you can have an income of $138,539. That's at the time of this recording. Now, I said something that was key: housing income. If you are married or have someone else in the household who earns an income, even though they're not going to be on the loan or the loan application, that person's income is counted into the income that Georgia Dream uses to qualify you. Yes, household income. So one of the restrictions for Georgia Dream is anyone over the 18 plus and they have an income and is going to be living in the house, their income is going to count into the household income factor. So if you have an 18, 19-year-old teenager and they work and they have an income, Georgia Dream is looking to use that, as well as if you have someone in the household who gets Social Security, disability, or some form of income, that is going to be considered household income, and it factors into the household income. With Georgia Dream, there's a 640 credit score minimum. With a 640 credit score, from 640 to 699, you're only able to use 45% total debt of your income, meaning your current debts and the new housing payment can only go to 45% of your qualifying income, the borrower who is actually on the loan, which means if you make $5,000 a month, you're only allowed to, your total debt can only be $2,250. Now, if you have a 700 credit score or better, you can max out at the AUS findings. AUS means automated underwriting system, which means on an FHA loan, you can go up to 56.99 of your total debt. Now, speaking of FHA loans, Georgia Dream's program works with FHA, VA, USDA, and conventional non-insured programs. When I say conventional non-insured programs, USDA does not finance conventional loans that have private mortgage insurance. However, they will do FHA, they will do VA, and they will do USDA financing. Also, to qualify for a Georgia Dream loan, you have to have a minimum of $1,000 into the deal total. Meaning, let's say, example, you qualify for $200,000. You get $10,000 for the down payment assistance program. That takes care of your down payment and the 2% origination fee that Georgia Dream has lenders charge. And let's say the seller pays $8,000 for your closing costs. You still need to have $1,000 into the deal no matter what. Meaning, if you put down $1,000 earnest money deposit, that counts as your $1,000 into the deal. Let's say you put $500 into your earnest money deposit and you pay $600 for the appraisal. Now you have $1,100 into the deal, but I want to make something that's key. When you pay for your appraisal, in order to get credit for that using Georgia Dream, you have to put it on a debit card and not a credit card. If you put it on a credit card, it does not count because you're adding debt. But when you use a debit card, it's pulling cash out, so it's considered your cash investment because it comes out right away, if that makes sense. Another requirement of Georgia Dream is you have to take an 8-hour housing counseling course. This course does cost. It's typically between $50 and $100. It has to be taken with a HUD-approved agency, whether it's in person or online. A link will be below to get a list of HUD-approved counselors so you can start your journey today. Now, I said stay to the end of this video so you can learn how to get the required documents for the Georgia Dream program. There will be a link below for you to click on, which you will be able to download the required documents to get you started and for you to start searching for them so you can start the process for the Georgia Dream Down Payment Assistance Program. If this video has been helpful, do me a huge favor, give me a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. I'm Kevin Jefferson, the People's Lender. Welcome to Buying in Georgia.